And good evening, sports fans. Welcome to Sports Desk. I am Paul on the ball, and what an exciting evening we have for you this evening. A lot of things happening, a lot of sports around the BVI. You know, there are 16 basketball teams coming to our region. We're going to talk about that a little later on. We have some of one of the Antigua coaches here, Mr. Cedric David. Along we'll have, of course, the main man, Carl Dubs Catliff. But first up, we're going to talk some soccer because, as we know, soccer has had the most vibrant youth program in the region. And to talk a bit about the ladies' version of that, we have with us the president, Mr. Andy David. Good evening, Andy.
Good evening, Paul.
And along with him, the lovely, all the way from Angleterre, Kate. And Kate, my laptop just went off, so I'm getting the last name right here. I get it right. Help me here, Kate. Rosen.
Perfect.
Kate Rosen. Kate, welcome back.
Thank you very much. It's great to be here.
But the last time we spoke, you were thinking about returning. You said you hoped you could return.
Absolutely.
And it has become a reality.
It has. It has become a reality, and I'm very pleased to be here.
So before we talk about what you're going to do here, tell us a bit about what's been happening with Kate over in the UK.
Well, when I left here last summer, I actually went over to the States. I went over to New Jersey, and I was based there as a coach for 3 months. And then I was back home in England to carry on my teaching career out there. But then this opportunity came up, so I asked to finish early for the summer, to come out here a little bit early.
We have been busy, haven't we? Yeah, well,
Definitely.
That's pretty impressive. And where have you been, Mr. Brixton?
Trying to entice Kate back again.
Yes. Yeah. And what a good job you've done. Well, listen, obviously there's a lot of things happening there on the 15s. You know, you've had so much success in the last couple of years, Andy, with the youth program. You know, it goes to follow that, you know, the ladies, you know, are going to do well as well with Kate here now. What's the plan?
Yes, we've entered the Caribbean Girls Under 15 tournament to be held in the Cayman Islands. It's a CONCACAF tournament, so the standard is very high. There are teams like Canada and Trinidad and Haiti involved. But fortunately, we've been placed in a group which we think we can be competitive in with the Cayman Islands and Turks and Caicos and Curacao. So it's a good opportunity for our under 15 girls. As Kate will probably elaborate, some of those girls worked with her on the under 20s last year, so they're familiar with the way Kate works and, you know, her desire for fitness and organisation and so on and so forth. And obviously we've got some younger players that have come through as well. So yes, we're building up to the girls under 15 in Cayman. What we're trying to do is alternate. So in 2015 it'll be the boys going to the under 15. You know, we try and give the boys and then the girls a chance. But what's really exciting, unfortunately it does clash with the basketball tournament that's on. But we have Nevis visiting us this weekend for a series of under 13 games, which I'm delighted about. I mean, that I think is a result of the publicity we've been getting in the region with our program. You know that we sent 2 teams to St Martin at Easter under 13.
Absolutely.
So we're going to be having 2 teams, and Nevis will have 2 teams. The first game is at 3 o'clock, on Saturday in Virgin Gorda. The second game's at 4. The games are 9-a-side, so all of the boys from the boys and girls actually from BVI and Nevis will be getting a game. And then on Sunday, same times on the AOA Shirley in Tortola. So as we did in St Martin, we'll be playing an A and a B team. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how they get on against Nevis, which is, in terms of players that are available, probably about the same number of players that are available. But of course in Nevis, cricket and football are their national sports.
Of course.
So both those sports are on the school curriculum, whereas they're not here.
Yes. Now Kate, let's talk a bit about the last time when you were here. I noticed a lot of changes in the whole format and the style of which the girls had played, and it made a big difference with them. Obviously you've come back now knowing the girls, unlike the first time that you were here. From your thought process, what are you thinking about the girls now as far as their development, and how do you think you can take them to the next level?
I think it was great today that I've already worked with the majority of the girls that I worked with today, that I worked with them last year, so it's absolutely fantastic to see them and see how they've developed over 12 months. And what really stuck out for me today was their their competitiveness, and actually really trying to look after the ball and really trying to win the ball back, and that was just in small-sided games today during the training. In terms of how we are going to move forward and approach things, I would still like to look at the same things as last year, like Andy said, talking about organisation and talking about fitness, but I think a little bit more tactical awareness for the girls, so we're going to work on that.
Are they becoming more hungry? Are they understanding the level that you're trying to take them to?
I think so. Again, just from today was our first training session, and for me to see how they've developed, and they seemed hungry. Now, whether that's just because they know my style and they understand it, if that's the case, that's brilliant, because that's already a step up from last year, them learning who I was and what the expectations were. So today was successful, so I'm pleased with that.
So here comes the silly question. Were they excited to see you?
They were, you know what, they were. And what I'm really pleased with is that we've got a lot of girls who were obviously part of the squad last year who are too old for this squad, and they have been approaching me and asking if they can come down and, you know, help out as assistant coaches. So I had one there today, 3 there today, and 2 more that I've asked to come down tomorrow. And I think that's fantastic that, you know, that it's showing that the girls are enthused by the game, whether that be from an assistant coach's point of view or a player's point of view. So I'm really pleased with that.
And let's talk a bit about the under-13s. What is your focus now from a present perspective?
Well, before I get to that, I think I should tell you the girls had a nickname for Katie last year, and that was the drill sergeant.
Oh, wow, okay. I'll make a note of that. I'll make a note. The drill sergeant.
So they know what to expect.
They know what it is. Okay, so drill sergeant, we'll do our best to behave well on this program. So tell us a bit about, Andy, how you're seeing the development, and how do you see the Nevis team coming here fitting into that?
Well, I think for us, this is the start of what we're trying to do. We've tried to improve the standard of football we play, as Kate's said. Some of these girls that are in the under-15 were in the under-20 squad last year, so they know what the standard was when they played Antigua and St Kitts and Anguilla. They know that standard, so they've been there before, so they now know that unless they work hard, unless they improve their fitness, unless they're willing to play together as a team, we're not going to get anywhere. Last year, I think, when Kate first came and we entered the under-20, it was a learning experience. This year, I think the girls do know what's expected of them, and they do know it's going to be a high-quality tournament. But in terms of the under-13s, it's a good stepping stone for us. As you know, we're going to be breaking ground on a new facility at East End in July. Once that's done, and we would have access to that facility, we're going to be able to do a lot more in terms of inviting Leeward Islands neighbours in for tournaments, because you'll probably be pleased to hear that the Leeward Islands tournament for men, adult men, has been brought back again.
Is that so? Excellent.
Gordon Derrick from Antigua is leading that initiative, so our men's national team will be competing in St Martin. I think it's in August in the Leeward Islands tournament. And what we would hope to do is be able to host under 13, under 15, under 18, under 20 at both boys and girls level, if we have a facility that we can use. And I think everybody in the region is eager, because the World Cup's on right now.
Absolutely.
And it's been the best World Cup so far for a long time. They had the round of 16. 5 of the 8 games went to extra time. So no matter whether you're Costa Rica or you're Algeria or whoever you are, you can compete against Germany, or you can compete against Brazil.
So are you sure it's been the best World Cup? I mean, even though England went out in the first 16, come on, it's got to be the worst World Cup of all time. Kate. Kate's not this one. Okay. outside of England, we get into a response. Somebody else wants to come in here, but outside of England, getting out to the top 16. I mean, that just shows the level, I guess.
Absolutely.
I mean, that in itself could be another story that we could ask. You know, what is it that England could be possibly doing wrong with having the best organized league in the world and still unable to get into the past the first round? What is going wrong with England, with the English football at the national level?
Well, I was down in Brazil for the first stage of the World Cup, the group stage, so I saw all 3 England games.
Wow.
And I think the problem stems from the English Premier League. Only 31% of the time that players spend on the field of play in the English Premier League is English players.
Wow.
The other 69-70% are overseas players. So it's fairly obvious that there's not enough English players getting to play in the English Premier League, and it's reflecting on the quality of the national team. And also, I mean, from watching those games, there's players on that team. I'll call names. Rooney, for example, in my opinion, should not be there. He's not bothered.
Overrated. Probably.
Well, he's paid a huge amount of money.
Right.
And what you need is young, committed, energetic players, exactly as Costa Rica have done. No big stars on that team.
Or Mexico.
Or Mexico. Or Algeria. But what they've got is national pride and a real desire and enthusiasm and an energy to do well for their country. And you bring people like Rooney earning so much money, they couldn't be bothered whether they're there or not, in my opinion, looking at those games.
Yeah, it's quite peculiar, really. I mean, really hard to understand. And I'm looking at the system that England is using. I'm looking at the hunger of the players, and I wasn't seeing it. You know, I don't know how you saw it, Kate.
Well, I think it goes back to grassroots, because if you look on the female side of England football, the way that they harvest the young players, so it's all about fun at grassroots. Then they bring them into centres of excellence, and they harvest the English players through that, and we're a fantastic team on the ladies' side, and we are very competitive at European Championships and at World Cups, and because of the Premier League on the men's side, we don't do that. So I think we know how to do it, but I think we've got the Premier League, which is obviously like Andy was talking about. But I think it goes back to grassroots, and then so you bring it back to the BVI and look at what the Football Association are doing with the schools programme, with over 900 children in that programme,
right.
And then working it through with the under-15 girls going to the Cayman this year, hopefully an under-15s team going next year, with the under-13s at the weekend. I think we've got to bring it back and say, you know what, it's about grassroots, and it's about infusing them and working and harvesting them and working them up that way. Because we can do it in England, we do it with the girls' side,
yeah.
But we've got this problem of the Premier League.
One final point though, with the Premier League being the most successful financially as well, what would happen to the finance if they were suddenly to reduce the number of overseas players? Would that affect the kind of money that the league is drawing in?
That's a risk I think that should be taken. I mean, there's a huge amount of money that's paid for the TV rights to show Premiership games, and as a result of that, there's a huge amount of money available to bring players into the United Kingdom from overseas. Would it lose as much appeal? I'm not sure it would particularly lose appeal, but I think the time is coming when they're going to have to do something. They're going to have to put some quotas. And that's what UEFA has been trying to pressure them to do. The problem is, of course, is that the English Premier League is a commercial entity. It does operate within the jurisdiction of the English Football Association, but it's not run by the English Football Association. It's an actual business, is what it is. It's not a sporting association.
And a lot of
it's
the
a
teams
business.
are owned by foreign people, by multi-millionaires from different countries. France, I think, is a French guy that owns Arsenal. Is it French or
either Russian or Ukrainian?
Russian. Yeah. Right. So that's pretty common.
But I mean, interestingly, the England boys under 17s have just won the European Championship.
Yeah.
And their under-19s last year, I think, either got to the final or the semi-final. So the English youth teams actually are doing quite well.
Right.
It's just that the players are not getting the opportunity to go into the English Premier League.
I think the English football team is sounding like the West Indies cricket team. So, listen, we're going to take a pause for a cause to thank our sponsors. When we come back, more with Andy Bickerton and the lovely Kate. Stick and stay right back after a word from our sponsors.
Sports Desk is sponsored by Lime, the better, faster 4G network.
And welcome back, sports fans. I'm Paul on the ball, and we are talking football. And there's a lot of, in fact, more specifically, we're talking ladies football, along with a few of the lovely Kate Rosen. Did I get it right again, Kate?
You did.
I'm
Perfect.
on the ball this evening. And also the president of the BVI Football Association, Mr. Andy Bickerton. And Andy, there's a lot happening for this weekend, which, although you say it clashes with football, with basketball, it really doesn't, because your games are earlier in the day. The basketball goes on until late at night, really. So tell us a bit about what's happening.
Yes, on Saturday in Virgin Gorda, we have Nevis visiting with us. They've sent 2 teams of 9. So we'll be playing a BVI A and B in Virgin Gorda on Saturday, 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock kick-off. So please, everybody, come out and support the youngsters. As people might recall, we've got a lot of talent in this age group that did well in St Martin, so it'll be an opportunity for them to show their talent at home. And then on Sunday, there's 2 games down here at the AO Shirley, 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock at the AO Shirley. So, yes, can people please come out and support these youngsters?
Absolutely.
They'll be surprised at how talented they are.
I couldn't agree with you more. And then, Kate, I presume one of the things that you'll be focusing on is CONCACAF and the bigger games coming up.
Absolutely. We're going to have 3 days of training today, Friday and Saturday for selection purposes. And then as of Monday, we start an intense month of training camp, ready and getting prepared for when we leave on the 4th of August to go to the Cayman Islands to be competitive in the CONCACAF tournament.
Okay, I'm smiling here because I want to ask Kate a question. Kate, when did you arrive in the Virgin Islands?
I arrived on Sunday.
On Sunday, and you've already gotten a tan.
It's been nice weather at home.
Oh, you came with a tan.
With a little bit.
I was wondering, I thought that was a bit quick there. Yeah. You must have spent the whole day out in the sun. Okay, anyway, that's so already out there working, and how are the girls looking so far?
Yeah, they're looking good. Today's been the first day, and like I said previously, it was really nice to work with some of the girls that I worked with last year, and it was nice to see how they've developed. We're looking for some more goals over the next couple of days, so hopefully we can get our squad ready to start our intensive training on Monday.
So that's an official call. We're asking for more girls to come out. Is that what
Absolutely. If we've got girls who are out there who have played football, have been part of the schools program, who are born on or after the 1st of January 1999, they can contact the Football Association. And we can invite them down and let's see them. We're all about giving people the opportunity.
Okay. So if you're born on or after the 1st of January 1999, you are eligible to play for the ladies under, help me Kate?
Under 15s.
Under 15s. And please contact the BVI Football Association. The number is in the book and it is 494
5655.
5655. So please do contact the association. There'll be the secretary or someone there, and they'll pass you on to Kate. So Andy, again reiterating, we've got this weekend we've got Nevis.
Nevis on Saturday in Virgin Gorda and Sunday in Tortola. I just make a point, if there are girls out there that have been on the program, played soccer, and want to try out for the under 15s, they don't actually have to contact the office. They could go straight to the field.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, great.
Tomorrow tomorrow and Saturday we are meeting at the AO Shirley Recreation Ground at 1:30 for a 2 o'clock start.
Okay.
And going through till 4 o'clock. So absolutely, they can come and see what's going on.
So if you've played before, if you think you're a natural, come on down.
Absolutely.
Okay, good. Before we close, because we're going to be in the time of the clock shortly, Andy, I want to talk a bit about the World Cup. Get back to the World Cup again, and you know, people talk about CONCACAF. For those who don't know, tell them a bit what CONCACAF is, and did we get any teams from our region qualifying in the World Cup?
Sure. I mean, CONCACAF is the regional body of FIFA to which the British Virgin Islands belongs. So all of the 205 or whatever is it, member associations of FIFA are split up into different bodies depending where they are in the world. So CONCACAF is North America, Central America and the Caribbean. Then there's South America, there's UEFA, which is Europe, there is Asia, and then there's Oceania. So Oceania sort of spreads from New Zealand across to East Asia. And CONCACAF are making progress because we had 4 countries in the World Cup. That's the United States, Mexico, Costa Rica, and Honduras. And 3 of those countries made the round of 8.
Wow.
And one of them, Costa Rica, are tomorrow playing on Saturday are playing the quarterfinal against Netherlands. So Costa Rica are actually a good example for us in the BVI because that team has no stars. That's a team of players that have probably culminating in 15 years of development. They've been together approximately 15 years, from 9 to 10 years old, all the way through. And so they have a strategy and a plan. They play together. They believe in each other, and that really is what we have to be doing here in the BVI because we know we've got small numbers.
Yeah.
But if we've got talented players and we can keep them together, like for example this under-13 team, if we can keep them together in 10 years' time, if some have been off to college and come back or away at college, there's no reason why we can't have a pretty decent competitive team by then. Not to say that we're going to be beating Trinidad and Haiti and so on, but be competitive against other countries.
Absolutely. Makes a lot of sense to me. Well, Andy, we're tiring the clock, so I wanted you just to reiterate one last time what's happening this weekend in particular, just to let folks know. I'm going to let Kate close the CONCACAF.
Yes, Saturday in the field at Virgin Gorda, 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock, the BVI under-13s A and B team will be playing the Nevis A and B team. And on Sunday at 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock, BVI A and B teams will be playing Nevis A and B teams again here on the OA Shirley. And then Kate is starting the under-15 coaching as of tomorrow. So any girls born after January the 1st, 1999 that would like to try out, they need to be there tomorrow and Saturday. Tomorrow, Kate can tell us the time tomorrow, but as of Saturday, really, she's got to come up with a squad that she's going to train intensely. Okay, Kate, anything to add to that?
Just would like to see people there at 1:30 at AO Shirley. First ball rolls at 2 o'clock sharp.
Okay, so sounds like it's this drill sergeant messing around. 2 o'clock sharp sounds like she's pretty serious. Well, listen, we're going to let this drill sergeant get to it. We want to thank you, Kate Rosen, for being here, along with the president, Mr. Andy Bickerton. Coming up next, we're talking basketball, CBC tournament. It's over at the multi-purpose sport complex at the Ocean Recreation Grounds. Stick and stay right back with some basketball. Thank you, guys.
Sports Desk is sponsored by Lime, the better, faster 4G network.